Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the news first where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
Seven people injured after bus crashes into truck and topples over in Bambalapitia. Rice fields in Hambantota yet to receive water. Farmers left helpless. Over 30,000 acres of rice fields destroyed due to lack of water. Dry weather conditions affect people across 13 districts. Parents protest, demanding solutions to teacher shortage. Tasker Digadantu 1 re-emerges from hiding after 4 long years.
On to those stories in detail. 7 people were injured on Monday morning following a motor accident in Bambalapitia.
Sri Lanka police said that a passenger transport bus flying from Colombo to Katharagama collided with a truck and toppled over. The incident took place on Duplication Road and the truck was travelling from Tumulla to Gaul Road when the collision took place. 5 men and 2 women were injured in the accident and were immediately admitted to the Colombo National Hospital for treatment. Initial investigations have revealed that the bus had disregarded the signal lights and proceeded to move forward, thus causing the accident. The traffic light system was also damaged in the accident. The bus was removed from the road several hours after the accident.
Many rice fields are yet to receive water despite it being 6 days since water was released from the Udawalawa reservoir.
Approximately 2,000 acres of rice fields in the Walava Southern Bank in Angunukola Palasa are yet to be provided with water. Rice farmers point out that due to the lack of water, their crops are dying. Farmers who claim they cannot let their crop to die have taken measures to collect water from dried up water bodies and nurture their fields, yet the water is not sufficient. The Mahavali Authority of Sri Lanka said the water capacity at the Udawalawa reservoir is only sufficient for another 2 days. It added that the capacity dropped to 5,000 acre-feet.
The Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board said 32,815 acres of rice fields across 19 districts were destroyed due to arid weather conditions. Chairman of the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board, Madhuba Bandara Veerasekara, said the most affected area was the Kurunagala district, with 10,232 acres of rice fields being destroyed. Around 10,117 acres of rice fields in the Walava zone were destroyed due to arid weather conditions, and the damage is expected to increase further. Chairman of the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board, Madhuba Bandara Veerasekara, stated a team comprising of 2 directors have been assigned to assess the damage in the Walava zone. He added that crop damages are also being reported from the Mahava, Ratnapura, Trincomalee, Putlam, Ampara, Batticaloa and Matara districts. Chairman of the Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board, Madhuba Bandara Veerasekara, stated that 21,169 rice farmers have incurred losses due to this situation. A program to create awareness among the farmers on agri-insurance policy is taking place at present, with the first program commencing from Ruwanbala yesterday. 6 plants are insured free of charge. Those are corn, soya, big onions, chili and potato. Many farmers with our organization are receiving benefits. What we want is to provide this to the entire country. Farmers require around 200,000 rupees to cultivate in an acre of land. So the government is providing 100,000 rupees. By just paying a small installment, we are requesting them to secure the entire cultivation. The Ministry of Power and Energy stated that a meeting will take place on Monday the 14th to discuss measures required to maintain an uninterrupted supply of electricity in the country. State Minister Indika Anuruddha told News First that CEB, among other stakeholders, will be present for the meeting. The Electricity Users Association of Sri Lanka convened a press conference to comment on the recent development surrounding the supply of electricity. Authorities have sought cabinet approval to appoint the Power Sector Reform Secretariat to implement institutional reforms. They are planning to pay the salaries of these personnel in US dollars. This is not the need of the hour. What is required is the installation of solar panels to generate electricity and promote renewable energy. The fund should be allocated to those sectors. They will not do so because it would not be beneficial for them. The issue here is that they are not people sensitive. They increase the tariff for the lower brackets users and create a situation where people will not be able to make payments. They always create issues for those in the lower brackets. The president does not even care about this. He only thinks about the upper bracket users, the IMF. We are now experiencing repercussions of not having a people-sensitive leadership. The Disaster Management Center says that 13 districts have been severely affected by read weather conditions. Nearly 51,641 families have been affected.
Sabaragamuwa, East, Northwest, North, Uva and Southern provinces are severely affected by arid weather conditions. The Disaster Management Center said 171,781 people belonging to 51,641 families have been affected. The Northern province is the most affected by the arid weather. The latest report issued by the Disaster Management Center shows that 75,165 people belonging to the districts of Jaffna, Mannar, Mullaitivu and Vavuniya in the Northern province have been affected. According to the report, 63,316 people have been affected in Trincomalee, Batticaloa and Ampara districts of the Eastern province. The number of affected people in Ratnapura district of Sabaragamuwa province is 14,116. According to the Disaster Management Center, 10,043 people belonging to Putlam and Kurunegala districts of the Northwest province have been affected as well. 7,512 people in Hambantota district and 1,809 people in Badulla and Munaragala districts are among the affected people. The people of Polonnaro, Dimbulagala, 216 Ellava Jayasrigama village are severely affected by the lack of drinking water due to all the wells in the area drying up. Area residents said that around 150 families have been affected by this. Local residents point out that even though the Dimbulagala local council distributes water through bowsers, it is not sufficient.
The majestic Digadantu 1 tusker has re-emerged on the banks of the Kalawava for the first time in almost 4 years. The Digadantu 1 tusker is a wild elephant in Sri Lanka that is often seen around the Kalawava but had remained out of sight for many years.
Digadantu is considered as the tusker with the longest tusks from among the tuskers living around the Kalawava and its surrounding forest reservations. The Digadantu 1 tusker is often seen roaming in the Kahalapalla Forest Reservation and in the Rasvahera, Siabalangamua, Kalawava and Balaluvava areas. Over the past 4 years, the Digadantu 1 tusker had remained out of sight, and following his re-emergence, many wildlife lovers had made their way to Kalawava to witness this majestic tusker. The Digadantu 1 tusker can be seen among the herd of over 200 wild elephants visiting the Kalawava and Balaluvava during the dry season. It is reported that a wound can be witnessed above the right eye of the Digadantu 1 tusker. It is still uncertain if the injuries were inflicted by a gunshot or following a battle with another tusker. However, an inspection from a distance highlights an infection in the wound.
Hangurankata Balamandala meeting of the United National Party was held yesterday.
The UNP Balamandala meeting was held in Rikilla Gaskada with the participation of its deputy leader Ruwan Wijewardena, Shantini Kongahage and several others.
He did not leave the country after his house was set on fire by a group affiliated with a certain political party under the guise of Aragalaya participants. His assets were destroyed. What was left for him was a pair of trousers and shirts. On the next day, he went to the Prime Minister's office. He started working again after obtaining some ties from my father and few clothes from others. If he did not take the responsibility at that point of time, where will we be now? Ranil Wickremesinghe is someone who can provide fearless leadership. Most people are informing us they are waiting for our leader to show up in green to join us. We will not be able to identify solutions for all the issues because we are not from the government. The government is still theirs. When you look at it from that point, it is difficult to identify solutions for all the issues. Our party should be there in the government.
The SLPP Balamandala meeting of the Ududumbara electorate was held yesterday.
If we take a step back, the unwanted will come forward. Then only we realized we should not have gone behind. We were not able to get the fuel on time. We could not provide cooking gas. We could not provide fertilizer to the farmers. We agree. We had to impose 10 to 12 hours of power cuts. With this, there was a pressure from the people. They killed our supporters. They set fire to our houses. However, we should overcome this. You know why? That is for our country. When the Pradeshya Sabha member constructs a road in a rural village, will they tell our Pradeshya Sabha member constructed a road? No. They will say out of the 500,000 rupees estimate, 100,000 rupees would have gone to his pocket. Can they loot government funds like that? No, you cannot. We are aware of the issue that you face. We are aware of the issues that you had in the past. We are sure that officials will be informed and solve the issues. The prices of goods are quite high. Give us up time. We will solve this. We are sure that before the end of this year, we will take necessary measures to resolve most of the issues.
Jatika Jana Balavege MP Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that the people of the country now need a leadership that suits the modern society. She made these remarks while joining a party meeting held in Moratuwa.
අද වෙනකොට රනිල් රාජපක්ෂ නියෝජනය කරන්නේ මේ රටෙන් ප්‍රතික්ෂේප වෙච්ච දේශපාලන.
Today, Ranil Rajapaksha represents a politics that has been rejected by this country. That leadership model is not suitable for this country now. We're not talking about such a leadership. They're old. I say it's old not because the individuals are old. The attitudes they give and the way they behave are no longer suitable for this modern society. A different political culture is demanded in our country today. Leaders who can be an example is what our country is asking for. It is a more democratic leadership, not that elite, arrogant leadership. It is because of that elite political leadership that the farmers cannot get water today. If you have that sympathy, if you can understand what is the need of the people, can you cut off the water of the farmers of this country and sleep at night?
ලැබූ දේශපාලන නායකත්වය නිසා තමයි අද ගොවීන්ට වතුර නොදී ඉන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. ඒ සහකම්පනය තියෙනවා නම් ජනතාවගේ අවශ්‍යතාවය මොකක්ද කියලා තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් ද මේ රටේ ගොවීන්ගේ වතුර කපලා නිදා ගන්න රැයට.
The Kelaniya University Students' Union convened a press conference and stated that the government is working towards the privatization of education and health. Right now, the country has degraded economic system, education, health, etc. All sectors are degraded. Everyone is suffering now. The Ranil Rajapaksa government is currently working to privatize education. With the intervention of this government, there has been a massive crackdown on the universities and a huge amount of problems. We know that they have agreed to privatize education and health with the terms of the IMF loan programs. As an extension of that program, with the Ranil Vijaydas report, all the state universities have been affected. If we are going to privatize education, we must decide as to how the future of the country will be. If you have brains, you will understand the circumstances.
අපි මේ අධ්‍යාපනය විකුණන්න යනවා නම් රටක අනාගතය කොහොම වේද කියලා අපිට තීරණය කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මොලයක් කියන නාමයක් හරි තියෙනවා නම් ඇත්තටම තේරෙනවා මේක. ඇත්තටම මේක
A group of parents of Anuradhapura's Gamiris Gasweva Manarul Ulum School are currently protesting, demanding solutions to the shortage of teachers.
The protest took place opposite the North Central Provincial Education Office. About 500 children study in Gambirigasweva Manarulum High School from 1st grade to 11th grade. However, the school has less than 20 teachers. Parents say that there are no teachers in the school for main subjects such as mathematics, science and English.
Today is the 8th day of the second leg of LOLC Divisavya program. Today's leg took place centering the Kandy district.
The LOLC Divisavya program is taking place to support the Sri Lankan student population, and the second leg of the program aims to provide school books and stationery free for 1 year for government schools with less than 100 students. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC group and the Ministry of Education. Today's program is implemented focusing on Wattegama and Theldeni education zones in the Kandy district. Under this, school equipment and exercise books were distributed for the students of Gomara Janapada Vidyalaya, Gomara Vidyalaya, Varakanda Muslim Vidyalaya, Navanagala Demala Vidyalaya, Kandegama Kanishta Vidyalaya and Madivaka Kanishta Vidyalaya today. School books and stationery items were also distributed to more students at the Wattegama Zonal Education Office. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC group and the Ministry of Education.
A religious event took place yesterday in line with the 65th birthday of Venerable Hinegedara Silabadathero, chief incumbent of Savara Lanka G Temple in Japan.
The religious event took place at Savara Lankaji Temple in Japan. Venerable Hinegedara Silabadathero has been working as a missionary in Japan for more than 35 years and is fulfilling a great mission.
මේ විහාරස්ථානයේ අධිග්‍රහිත දෙවිදේවතාවුන් වහන්සේලාට
On the occasion of his 65th birthday, this event took place under the auspices of Venerable Banagal Upatisathero, the chief Sanganayaka of Japan and the chief incumbent of the Savara Lankaji Temple in Japan. A large number of monks and devotees participated in this event.
The flag hoisting ceremony to mark the 76th Independence Day of Pakistan took place in Colombo.
The flag hoisting ceremony to mark the 76th Independence Day of Pakistan took place in Colombo under the auspices of Pakistan High Commissioner to Sri Lanka.
I am immensely humbled and proud to witness the strong bond shared between our two nations. Let us continue to enhance our collaborations in all spheres, including diplomacy, trade, defense, culture, education.
The death toll from the Maui wildfires reached 93 on Sunday, as relatives of the missing frantically search for signs of their loved ones may still be alive, while survivors grappled with the scale of the disaster and sought solace at church services.
Days after the inferno destroyed much of the historic resort town of Lahaina on Tuesday and Wednesday, crews of firefighters were still battling flare-ups and cadaver dogs were sifting through the town's charred ruins in search of victims. The death toll made the blaze Hawaii's worst natural disaster, surpassing a tsunami that killed 61 people in 1960, a year after Hawaii became a U.S. state. It was also the largest number of deaths from a U.S. wildfire since 1918, when 453 people died in the Cloquet fire in Minnesota and Wisconsin, according to data from the National Fire Protection Association.
A Russian warship on Sunday fired warning shots at a cargo ship in the southwestern Black Sea as it made its way northwards. The first time Russia has fired on merchant shipping beyond Ukraine since exiting a landmark UN-brokered grain deal last month.
In July, Russia halted participation in the Black Sea grain deal that allowed Ukraine to export agricultural produce via the Black Sea. Moscow said that it deemed all ships heading to Ukrainian waters to be potentially carrying weapons. On Sunday, Russia said in a statement that its Vasily Bykov patrol ship had fired automatic weapons on the Palau-flagged Sukru Khan vessel after the ship's captain failed to respond to a request to halt for an inspection. Russia said the vessel was making its way toward the Ukrainian port of Izmail.
A retired Russian fighter jet flying in Yankee Air Museum's Thunder over Michigan Air Show at the Willow Run Airport near Ypsilanti crashed Sunday afternoon as thousands of spectators, including children, watched in horror.
It was a perfect Sunday for an air show. Clear skies and thousands of aviation fans, heads raised for the 25th Thunder over Michigan, one of the leading air shows in the nation, when suddenly at the finale, billows of black smoke and cries from the crowd as a jet performing for the event crashed. Two pilots ejected from the MiG-23 UB fighter plane in midair at Willow Run Airport at 4:15 p.m. on Sunday and were rescued from Belleville Lake. The jet crashed into unoccupied vehicles in the parking lot of the Waverly on the Lake Apartments in Van Buren Township. There were no injuries.
From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of these stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanesan. You take care and have a great day.